We about to begin. But we got to give thanks. Let's start with the Mad Dog, Manny Aurora, and the Aurora Law Firm. TheAuroraLawFirm.com. That makes sense, right? Based out of Georgia, but litigates across the United States. So if you in trouble, criminal defense, white-collar crime, DUI, drug offenses, the Mad Dog is your man. Or any of his attorneys in-house. And if you got a question for the Mad Dog, reach out any way possible to me and ask it for his next appearance on the BS. Thanks to Inspect All Pest Services, InspectAllServices.com. Metro Atlanta and surrounding areas. Highest quality termite, pest, and wildlife control. Plus, they're going to take care of your insulation, pressure washing, and gutter maintenance. Great people. Thank you, Nick. Dr. David Markwell, MarkwellTherapy.com. He is a great guy, fantastic human being, and a great therapist. One of the best. He's got 10 therapists in-house that'll hook you up. If you need help, get help. I always say it. 3 locations there in Georgia. If you want to go in person, Sprayberry High School, Sandy Plains, across from Sprayberry High School, I should say, not in the high school. Hey, Coach, is Dr. David Markwell here? No, it's across from Sprayberry High School. East Cobb, Marietta near the square, and McKaysville outside of Blue Ridge. But he can do virtual sessions, so wherever you're at, he'll take care of you. Shoot him an email, ridgelinecounseling@gmail.com. And last but not least, Capriati's Sandwich Shop, Folsom, California, capriatis.com. They're everywhere in the United States, but my man Scott with his Folsom location getting ready to open up some new ones too. Whole roast turkeys, quality meats, cheeses, Wagyu. Wagyu cheesesteak, so good. Fresh rolls and produce. That's what continues to impress their patrons like us and earn awards across the country. They are delicious. Great service, very clean. They have a good soda fountain machine too. I don't know, weird like that. The ice cubes, yeah. All right, let's start the show.
Go ahead and leave a comment about how you deal with your children leaving home while I recover.
Honey, I raised the kids.
Our kids leaving the nest is never easy. So in order to cope, Jason and Rachel have decided to share the journey of their kids, Caleb and Ariel, or Bees as most know her. Follow the story in this podcast.
Honey, I raised the kids.
Yeah, here it is, episode 8 of the Honey, I Raised the Kids podcast. A podcast about 2 people talking about their kids leaving the house. Thanks for being here. My name's Jason Bailey. Right there is my wife, Rachel.
Hey, y'all.
We are Ray J. Ray J.
Ray J.
Ray J. Drinking horrible.
Oh, they're so bad.
Members Mark seltzers.
I think they went bad. Did those go bad?
It's got to.
It has to.
There's no way somebody could sit around and say this is a good flavor. I mean, this is key lime, passion fruit, and butthole.
But you know what's funny? You're still drinking it.
It's an oral fixation.
Okay.
It's an oral fixation.
Yeah,
oral. I need an oral fixation. So this episode, we're going to talk about the hypothetical. And the only reason why we're bringing it up is because
Meg Poland.
Yeah, one of our 2 peers. Mm-hmm. She's been with the show and me for a very long time.
She's the sweetest thing on the face of the planet.
Very loyal, and I love you to death. We love you to death. But did she post this?
I think she messed. Oh no, maybe she posted on Facebook. Yeah, on one of the honey. Posts.
The honey snaps.
Yeah. Honey snaps. Oh, I like that. That's cute.
That's what's I call the video snaps.
Oh, it's a honey snap. That's cute.
It's a honey snap.
I like it.
What did she say now?
She said that she would really like to hear how we feel, because with Caleb getting married soon, he's engaged and going to get married, it only inevitably, not putting it out into the ether, but he only inevitably will be having a child at some point in time in the future. So how do we feel about being grandparents?
To Caleb's kids.
Caleb's kids, yeah.
Bees she doesn't want kids.
She would like to go shopping for a baby.
She wants a little Asian baby.
Yeah, she wants to go and shop and pick one out.
Gotcha.
And, yeah. She does not want to have any children. She wants to go pick one out.
Maybe she'll become a lesbian. We can only be so lucky. Okay, so Meg asks the question.
Mm-hmm.
How do we feel if and when Caleb, recently engaged, has children and we become grandparents.
Yep.
That's easy.
How do you feel?
Old.
Yeah, I'm going to be the best grandma ever, except for they can't call me grandma. I don't want to be called grandma.
Here's the thing with grandparents, okay? Grandparents are great to have.
Yeah.
Grandparents are important in a grandkid's life.
Absolutely.
Grandparents are the best.
Yeah.
But no one wants to be a grandparent.
No, but you have, well, I mean, I have a lot of the older ladies that have grandbabies. They tell me that they like it better because with your kids, you actually have to be parents and like make rules and say no. But with grandbabies, you can do whatever you want. Sugar them up and send them home and be like, ha ha ha, to your kids.
Yeah, but do you know how old grandbabies make you feel? Like,
I mean,
you have 5 dogs. What else do you need? You want a hamster?
No. I don't want one anytime soon. But when it happens, I'm going to be awesome.
I don't want it to ever to happen.
You have really big shoes to fill too, because Poppy's a crusher.
Right. You know, here's the thing with becoming a grandparent. And I honestly do. I'm not joking. Like, you know, to answer your question, I'd feel old. And I don't want to feel old. I feel old enough
having grown children,
yeah. Doing a podcast about being, that's the whole reason why we're doing this podcast is it's therapy for us.
Absolutely.
It's a way for us to talk about, you know, on the BS, we talk about different stuff and it's me and Chuck and Brandon, you know, we're goofy and we have the guests, fella stuff, you know, this one in because, you know, the radio shows in the past were 4 hours long, so I would have time to do the family stuff and I could have time to do the goofy stuff and so on and so forth. So, you know, we decided to compartmentalize it and do one just about the family. The reason
therapy, it's family therapy.
Yeah, it's therapy. I mean, it's bad enough having kids that are the age of our kids at 23 and almost 19. It's bad enough that we're becoming full-time empty nesters. It gets even worse
when you're a grandparent.
When you're a grandparent, there's nothing after that. You know what's after that? Death. No, that's what's after that.
There's
death.
Just more grandbabies.
No, it's death.
Oh.
Yeah, it's grandbabies and then death.
That's
sad.
That's real sad.
It's very, very sad.
I don't think that's what I would like for it. Can we just like have like bunches of grandbabies to fill our time?
No, it's one grandbaby.
Just one. That's it. One and done.
And you die. That's how that works.
That's all you get.
Yeah. So I would feel old. Now, I mean, you can't fight the inevitable.
But we're young empty nesters.
Yeah, I understand that.
We would be young grandparents.
But we have things to do as young empty nesters.
Like go to the beach.
Right, like go to the beach. And as soon as we become grandparents, then all those things that we should be doing and want to be doing as empty nesters.
All right, Caleb, just hang tight. Let me get my empty nester on.
Right?
Let me get my empty nester on.
Oh, okay, so let's dumb this conversation down. At what age is the norm to be a grandparent? And it's different for grandmother and grandfather, right? Like I feel like a grandfather is always older because normally the relationship is an older man marries a younger woman.
So
right?
You're good.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. So I'll ask you as a soon to be excited wannabe grandmother, at what age do you think a typical grandmother should be?
I feel like, so we're different situation because we are younger and I mean, I'm only going to be 40. So that's not a standard timeline. And most of the people that have children that are our children's age are your age or just a little older. So you're like 48 and then you'd be coming into being a grandparent in like your 50s?
No, too young.
Really?
Yeah, grandparenting does not start until the age of 67.
My parents are 65 and Caleb's 23.
Okay. Well, he's got a, well, yeah. Okay. Well, they'd be great grandparents then.
My grandparents are 84. Well, my grandmother is 84.
Nobody remembers their grandparents as young. Like your grandparents, and here's the other thing too, is let's say Caleb knocks his fiance up next year. Okay.
I don't feel like we should put that out into the ether.
They have a child. Mm-hmm. Let's say in the next 2 years. Okay.
Okay.
I will be 51.
Yep.
You will be 41. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Those kids, by the time they know they have grandparents, will be what, 3, 4, you start to know you have grandparents.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I would be 54, you would be 44.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really young.
Way young. Really, especially
so we get to be the cool grandparents.
Hold on. So in today's world, that's really, really young. Those kids would still look at us as old. You're 44.
Really?
You're 44 to that 3-year-old.
You just made me 64.
74.
Shut your mouth.
I'm way ancient, like to the point where
that means you're 104. I'm just kidding.
To the point where they're looking at me like we should spend as much time with him as possible because we're going to lose him soon. Like
well,
that's how
probably
old.
have a conversation about putting you in a home.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You know, so the age of a grandparent in the real world, like for us speaking right now, for you listening right now, and this would be a great conversation to have on social media, whether it's in the BS2P or Facebook group or just the BS Facebook or any of the social media. What age is perfect to be a grandparent, not only for you, but for optics?
That's a great question. But I feel like for us, the younger is the better because you have more energy and you're like ready to party.
Now, how would you feel when you then become a great grandparent? Because you're young enough, just like your parents, young enough to become a great grandparent.
Yeah, my parents are not great grandparents yet. Caleb.
My mom.
And yes.
Great grandma.
Yeah.
Although we have a very dysfunctional family and I don't think everybody talks or anybody talks,
okay.
She's still technically on paper a great grandparent.
Well, she talks to your brother's daughter and she, right? Because that would be.
I don't know.
Her.
All right, you're
grandparent and then a great grandparent. Yeah. That your brother's daughter's little baby, the little boy that she has. She posts pictures of him all the time.
Okay, so you as a great grandmother, let's just say Caleb has a child. You're 44. That kid's 3. Let's just say the kid gets knocked up and is in an MTV show, kind of like you were.
All right.
You know, let's just say
16 and living it.
Let's just say 16 years later. At 19, give it 19. So 16
19's better.
Plus 44, you're now 70. All right.
Okay.
So you're 70. 70 in today's world is still fairly young.
Yeah.
And you're a great grandparent. 70 is the grandparent window. Great grandparent is one of those things where you're not supposed to, as a great grandchild, remember them.
I remember my great grandparents.
You're not supposed to.
Oh.
No,
oh.
You're not supposed to.
Well, dang.
Great grandparents should be so old that you have a very vivid memory of them. Your memory is, I think it was great grandma that always ate the butterscotch candies at Christmas. I don't remember. I was so young at that time and she died shortly after. Yeah.
My great grandparents lived with Grandma and Pop for the longest. Like I absolutely remember them. They had their own. They had separate rooms because my great grandfather snored so loud that she didn't want to sleep with him. So they have, and their rooms still look the same.
Yeah.
Yep. Grandma kept them the same.
And you know what the great white buffalo is, and they're out there. And I never did believe it. And I remember seeing it with my own 2 eyes at one time. And I just didn't think it ever existed. The mean grandparents. They're out there.
They exist.
They exist.
Yes.
The grandparents that don't necessarily want to be around their grandkids. They don't want to buy them anything. They don't want to break the rules for them. Those types of things.
They don't want to have anything to do with them because they're hateful human beings.
Extremely.
Oh, your daughter has one of those.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about like in her situation. I'm talking about in the nuclear situation where they're still attached to the family and they love the grandkids, but they're just kind of mean. It's kind of
They're
like
just not good grandparents.
they're just not good grandparents.
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation is a good example where the kids are like, oh, why does grandpa have to sleep in my room?
Yeah.
You know, those kinds of
Yeah.
things. Like I, as a kid, I loved, and many of you know this, loved my grandmother. And still to this day, it's just, she was my world. I would purposely on the weekend as a kid. Now on the weekends, I could be out with my friends outside. I could be playing ball. I could be doing all kinds of different things. I would ask my mother, Friday after school and say, hey, can I go stay at Graham's this weekend?
You want to party with Graham?
And I would go to Graham, and Graham had one television, like 4 channels.
Yeah.
You'd switch it back and
It
forth.
didn't matter. It was cool.
It didn't matter. I had a coloring book. I had a writing book. I had a drawing book. I had a couple toys over there. No big deal. But I knew when I was going over to Graham's on Friday night, whether it was her apartment in Glen Burnie, Maryland, which was about the size of probably your palm, or her, government assisted living apartment in Annapolis, Maryland, I knew when I went to Graham's house, I was getting the best iced tea. I was getting the best tuna fish sandwich.
Yes.
And I knew the next day, I couldn't wait to go to bed Friday night. And I would sleep in the same bed as Graham. Mm-hmm. And I knew the next day that we would be getting up early and we would be walking to the bus stop because Graham never had a license and she never drove. And I knew that we were going to probably the Annapolis Mall. And I knew Graham was going to buy me a toy of my choice. And that was really, really exciting. And I knew Graham and I would be sharing a tuna fish sandwich on the bench in the mall. I also knew maybe Graham and I would be going to get lunch at Roy Rogers or Burger King or Chick-fil-A. One of these things. It was the most exciting thing. Those are the best memories I had as a kid. So when I would see the hateful, mean grandparents, I never understood it. Now, I know you and I won't be those grandparents.
No, we're going to be the coolest grandparents on the planet.
But the problem is, selfish reasons.
Not yet.
We've got way too much stuff to do.
Okay.
Like we're getting ready to start the next chapter in our lives.
I feel like it involves the beach.
I think it does involve the beach. But we're starting the next chapter of not only our lives personally, but professionally.
Absolutely.
This is a rebirth. I know in my case it is. It's a rebirth. And
I'm learning that I don't know what I like to do because I've only ever been mom since I was 16. And this is a whole new world of what do I like to do? What I don't know anything because I've just been mom and working.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
I don't even know, I just don't know.
I was talking to Beast today about something. We were talking about school, and she was talking about sororities and stuff like that. And she was talking about shopping for her apartment. And all this stuff. And she's excited. I'm just listening, and I got a million things on my mind, and I'm listening and I'm listening and I'm listening. And I forget how we got here. But the next part of that was, I was talking about in our new house and the room situation. And I said, you'll always have a room. You'll always have a bed.
Oh, of course.
You'll always have a bed. I said, but when you graduate, that bedroom becomes a guest room. So you will be off on your own. I go, as soon as you go off to college, you technically are out of the house.
It really makes me sad having this conversation.
Right? But it's true. She's not going to be one of those, I don't think, that after college she'll come back home. I think, she's more than welcome too, but I think Ariel will be one of those kids that as soon as college is done,
she's got a plan.
She's got a plan.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to have girlfriends. She's going to go.
Yeah.
They're going to get a place. They're going to get a house and stuff like that. And then her life will, her real life will begin.
Yeah, she'll just be visiting us.
So I was explaining that to her, because I was explaining the room situation in the new house. And I was like, this is going to be, the studio, the office. And I was like, and then your room and your stuff. I said, but you've got 3 years. And after 3 years, that's no longer your room.
What did she say to you? Oh, did you get daggers?
No, she just kind of thought about it. And actually, she was giddy because I said, because I followed it up quickly with, because, and I said, it's not going to be your room because you're going to have your own place. And she goes,
That was strong. You came in, saved it.
Right. I wasn't going to be mean or upset, but that's just life. And that's what's next. That's what we're going to experience. Yeah. And then we would have to, if we do become, going back to Meg's question at the beginning of this episode, is, I'm not ready for our new life in our house to have cribs and baby toys and
babies hanging out. We got some time. I think we got some time. Caleb's not planning on that anytime soon. I think we're good.
I think for Christmas, I'm going to get him a vasectomy.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
But I have a question for you. Oh my God. So when the time comes, what do you want to be called?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, I can't be Poppy.
You can be Poppy.
Why? Well, we already have a Poppy.
I know, but it's okay. You can also be Poppy. No, but I don't feel like you want to be Poppy. I feel like you want... What do you want?
Oh my God. It's funny you asked that.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to myself in my head about this.
Okay. I can't wait to hear your head conversation.
God, I can't.
Self.
What
would I like to call me?
Yeah. You know what it is?
No.
Dirty Pop. Dirty Pop. Dirty Poppy.
I don't
So we have Poppy and I would be Dirty Poppy.
So
Dirty Pop.
Can we retool that a little bit? Maybe rethink it. It sounds kind of gross.
Does it?
Yeah. Are we like dealing with children and Dirty Pop?
Yeah, but there's no other grandfather called Dirty Pop.
There
I would
is
be
not.
the only one.
You are correct, but I don't think that it would. No, I don't think it'd go over well. Bro, that's like friggin' Dirty Grandpa. Isn't that a movie?
I'd be on a list somewhere.
You would be on a list. I think we put you on the list now, just in preparation.
What do I want to be called? So I never had a grandfather, so I never got to experience this. Grandpa, Papa. What are the names? What are my options?
I mean, I called my grandfathers Pop and Pop Pop.
Pop and Pop Pop.
Yep. Maryland, Grandma and Pop. And then Jersey, Mom's side of the family was Mom and Pop Pop. And then my parents are Grandma and Poppy.
Okay, so there's a lot of poppies going on in your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the younger grandkids, like after my sister, myself, and all,
I got it.
They called my pop Poppy also.
I got it. Like 11 in Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
Papa. Papa. That's what I want to be. I want to be.
Isn't that like a dad name for like a small child?
Papa. I don't know.
I feel like that was creepy too.
Why is everything I say creepy?
We're gonna retool. I don't know. Maybe it's a work in progress.
Granddaddy. Granddaddy Bailey.
Granddaddy Billy.
Granddaddy.
That's like Granddaddy Bang Bang.
Yeah, Granddaddy Bang Bang. No. Oh my God, that's my grandpa name. Granddaddy Bang Bang. That's phenomenal.
All right, so about that list.
Dirty Pop, Granddaddy Bang Bang.
Yeah, or
Papa.
Putting it on it now.
Yep. All right.
Signing you up.
The two peers, it's up to you. Name me for when that day comes.
Yes,
please go ahead and make your post.
We need a granddad name.
What about you, Grandma?
No.
Mama.
No.
Mama.
No. That's
Dirty Mom.
No, I don't think I'm going to go with that one. See, I don't know, like, they have, like, Gigi. I don't think I like that one.
I don't like that. That sounds like a hooker.
Yeah. I feel like I want, all the girls call me Chi-Chi, and I think I'm okay with Chi-Chi.
You're not Mexican.
So?
That's a Chi-Chi.
Well, I don't care.
Okay.
I'm
That's not good.
But, well, What's a good grandma name? I don't want to be grandma. My mother is grandma.
That's true.
And my grandma is grandma. And then I had mom, but I don't think I like that either.
There's got to be an internet list of different options, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
I feel like I need options because I don't want it to sound like grandma just sounds old.
How about Old Lady Rach?
How about I cut you?
Where are we going today? Oh, we going over Old Lady Rachel's house for dinner?
No, that's such a bad idea. I don't know. I haven't really put any thought into it, thinking that if it's just not a conversation, then it just doesn't have to happen for an extended period of time. We just no grandbabies for an extended period of time because we got beach time to do.
Pretty old for a Rachel guy. Offspring.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty flexible.
But that's too long also.
Yeah,
So
what are
I'm not
like
really sure.
Gaga, Goo Goo, Gaga, Lady Gaga, Lady Gaga,
Gaga.
Lady
You
Gaga,
can call me Gaga.
Ray Ray,
Ray.
Rah Rah,
No.
Chichi.
I said I was okay with Chi Chi because that's what the girls call me.
Yeah, but no, it's not a grandma name. Grandma names are
Why do I have to have
Grammy.
you said you didn't want a grandma name or a granddad name.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I think it's up to the kid, right? You don't tell the kid what your name is.
No, they kind of just do it.
They kind of just say it.
But there is some influence because if you're like, oh, here, go to grandma. Oh, here, go to Gigi. Then you just out of repetition, then the child learns how to say it. And typically what will happen is as they're learning to talk and they've heard something, it'll be a weird version of what they've heard.
Oh.
Because
okay.
they can't talk right. They're
Well,
learning
this is
how
a
to talk.
whole new world I knew nothing about. So I should just say God.
All right.
Like when we have a grandchild, if you influence them to call you a name, how cool would that be? I'm grand God.
So how do you think that would translate in a baby that's learning how to talk?
They'd probably flip it and call me dog. What up, dog? The kid's going to start pounding at 3. What are you doing, Tunes? So yeah, you don't know either.
No, I really think that I have to think about it because I don't want it. I really, with us being so much younger,
We should have
I don't want to sound old.
yeah, we should be like a tag team too, and where our names
Oh, such a good idea.
like our names go together.
Ooh, tell me some tag teams. Bubba and
Yeah, the Dudley Boys.
Yeah, Dudley Boys.
Yeah, so
Oh, what can we be?
the Granny Boys, the Granny guys,
Granny guys.
the Granny guys.
All right, Bubba. Listen what's coming.
We could be, you got the Rockers, you got the Heart Foundation, you got the Road Warriors.
Ooh, I like that one.
The Road Warriors
Yeah.
would be the Grand Warriors,
Grand
Funk
Warriors.
Railroad Warriors.
Yes. That sounds fun.
You've got, God, what are some other great tag teams? You've got the Midnight Express,
I don't know.
the Rock and Roll Express.
Okay. Who's some of my faves besides Bubba?
Well, I think that's about it. That's all you're going to know. I mean, as far as,
Can I be called The Rock?
no.
I love him.
I would be the Rock.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Taken.
Well, is he? He's not a grandfather. I don't think he's a grandfather.
No, his kids are young still.
Yet. Any guy that knocks
Little.
his daughter up is going to be terrified. I would second
Do you want
guess
to meet
how-
my dad? No.
Yeah. Like she could be as aggressive as she wants. I would run out of that room in a heartbeat.
She's going to learn how to do the people's elbow.
Right, exactly.
You don't have to be worried about dad. Be worried about her.
We'll take any suggestions from when that day comes and we'll put it in our notes in our phone and we'll go
Yeah,
from there.
I feel like we need help.
All right, thebaileyshow.com. Make sure you follow on social media. Give us a like, share, follow. Make sure you're subscribing to the BS and all the episodes that we put out through the week. Please support the cause. Great things in the future and a lot of support from you guys. So thank you so much. Subscribe to the newsletter. That's free. The YouTube channel, that's free. And all the merch up there, not free, but they always have deals. So that's pretty cool. All that on thebaileyshow.com. As always, we appreciate you. Thanks for your time. Until next time. Bye.
I realize not everyone feels this way, and if you are okay with this stage of your life, honestly, more power to you.
Thanks for listening. Get more information and episodes on thebaileyshow.com.
Honey, I raised the kids.
Subscribe at thebaileyshow.com. Yeah, baby.